Hello friends, today we are going to start with the topic respiration again. This is the lecture number 6 for the topic respiration. Remember that? Lecture number 6 in continuation. In the last lecture we have studied about the respiratory system. If you remember, in the last lecture we have studied about respiratory system, and in that last lecture we have studied that main respiratory organ where the gaseous exchange takes place is lung. We have studied that in the lungs structural and functional unit of the lungs are present, and that structural and functional unit of lung is called as alveoli. These alveoli are concerned with what gaseous exchange, and number of alveoli is also very high. We have studied that near about 700 millions of alveoli are present in the lungs for the exchange of gases. We have to study structure of alveoli in detail. For what purpose? So that we can get further part, that is the exchange of gases, in detail. So remember that we have seen that in the system presence of trachea is there. Trachea is a tube-like structure. This trachea, it bifurcates to form two bronchi, and this bronchi divides and redivides to form primary bronchiole, secondary bronchiole. It divides to form tertiary bronchiole. This tertiary bronchiole divides to form minute ducts which are called as alveolar duct. This alveolar duct, they ends into a lobulated structure. This lobulated structure, it is called as alveolus. Okay, so this alveolus, we are going to study about this structure of alveolus in detail. So now this alveolus, as this diagram it shows, it consists of this alveolar duct. What is this? This is the alveolar duct as we have seen in this diagram before. This alveolar duct, it ends into the alveolus. It is a lobulated structure like this, consists of many lobes. This alveolus or the lobulated structure, it is lined by a single layer of squamous epithelial cells. In 11th standard we have studied the characteristic feature of squamous epithelial cells, that is these cells are very thin, flat, scale-like and concerned with exchange of gases. Now see this alveoli, each alveolus is supplied with blood capillaries, and the blood capillaries which are present in surrounding of the alveolus, which are these blood capillaries, it is concerned with, that is it is supplied with a branch of blood vessel which is called as pulmonary artery. In school level you might have studied that this pulmonary artery, it is concerned with impure blood, or we can say it carries deoxygenated blood. This pulmonary artery divide and redivide and rejoin to form another blood vessel. This another blood vessel becomes pulmonary vein, and this pulmonary vein, it is concerned with pure blood, and because of that only I have used two colors here. This color is for impure blood, as impure blood is somewhat bluish in color, and this pink color is drawn over here. It is for pure blood or oxygenated blood. Okay, so always remember that each alveolus is supplied with a branch of pulmonary artery and a branch of pulmonary vein. This pulmonary artery always carries impure blood and pulmonary vein always carries pure blood. What's the function of this alveolar duct? This alveolar duct, it always carries air. That means completely through the respiratory tract. This air will enter into the alveolus, which is rich in oxygen. Okay, so this is about the structure of alveolus. Once again, I'll repeat it here. We have studied in the last lecture as respiratory system. In the respiratory system, we have started with the nose. Nose, it follows into the pharynx. Pharynx, it leads to the larynx. Then this tube-like structure which was drawn before, that is trachea, we divide to form bronchi, bronchioles and alveolar duct, and it leads into the alveolus. This alveolus is a lobulated structure. It consists of these squamous epithelial cells, and each alveolus is supplied with branch of pulmonary artery which divide and redivide to form another blood vessel which is called as pulmonary vein. Always remember that pulmonary artery is concerned with pure blood and this pulmonary vein is always concerned with impure blood. Okay. Now next to that we have to study about mechanism of respiration. So this mechanism of respiration means actually what? How the respiration takes place, how the gaseous exchange takes place, it comes under mechanism of respiration. So this mechanism of respiration, we'll see this. This mechanism of respiration, it is a biological process. Remember that. It is a biological process. What do you mean by biological process? Bio means always related with the living beings, taking place only in case of living beings. So it's a biological process and it involves exchange of gases. This exchange of gases, this living being, this process, it involves exchange of gases. And for exchange of gases, what are the requirements? We have studied before, that is respiratory surfaces are very big, they are very thin and they are richly supplied with blood vessels. Thirdly, this exchange of gases, it results in formation of ATP. As earlier we have studied, oxygen is taken inside. This oxygen is used for oxidation of food material, and this oxidation of food material, it results in release of energy. So this release of energy in the form of ATP is the actual end product of respiration. So this mechanism of respiration, these are the three features. What are these three features? It is a biological process. Secondly, it involves exchange of gases, that is oxygen is taken inside, used for oxidation of food, results in formation of ATP, and there will be the release of carbon dioxide. These are the characteristic features. Then this mechanism of respiration, it involves 4 steps. What are the steps of mechanism of respiration? Its first step is breathing. Second step of respiration is your external respiration. Third step of respiration is internal respiration. And its fourth step is cellular respiration. So these are the 4 steps of respiration. Breathing, second external respiration, third internal respiration, fourth is cellular respiration. What are their meanings? We'll see the breathing first. Simply, breathing means the process by which air is taken inside and carbon dioxide is given outside. So taking air once in and giving out air once, it involves breathing. That means that becomes a breathe. Secondly, external respiration. What's the meaning of external respiration? This is the exchange of gases at lung level. That means whatever air we inhale will go up to the lung, and from lung carbon dioxide will be given outside. That will become external respiration. Next to that is internal respiration. Means from lungs the oxygen, it goes to the body cells. That will involve how the oxygen is taken by the body cells and how the carbon dioxide is given outside. And fourth is cellular respiration, means actual respiration where oxygen is used for oxidation of food material. Further part we are going to study in the next lecture.